Well, July 31st, the Feast of Ignatius of Loyola. My name is Father Peter Fink, and I'm a retreat director at Ignatius House in Atlanta. I was asked recently how I, a Jesuit of 65 years, honored or related to Ignatius. Was he a hero? A saint to be admired and emulated? Or just one more companion in this venture of Jesuit life? In some ways, it was a strange question, for no one had ever asked me that before, and it made me think, which, not a bad idea for a priest and a theologian to do. Well, let me look at my life. I entered the Jesuit novitiate at St. Andrew-on-Hudson in Poughkeepsie, New York, 65 years ago. Best reason to get me there was a sense of admiration and companionship. I met many Jesuits at Regis High School in New York City, and they attracted me and showed me what a wonderful venture a Jesuit life could be. In studies, I was first a scientist, then a theologian and teacher, later a pastor, and now a retreat director. And put it all together, quite a wonderful journey it is. Ignatius, as you know, is the founder of the Jesuits, and his feast is always time for good celebrations. July 31st is the date of his death, a privileged time for remembrance. But unlike some other religious orders, I've never found that Ignatius claims the same affection, say, that Francis does for Franciscans, or Dominic for Dominicans, or Benedict for Benedictines. And quite frankly, I'm not so sure Ignatius would be bothered by that. Remember, Ignatius took a long time to write what he calls his autobiography, and did so quite reluctantly. Ignatius did not set up a proper religious garb for the Jesuits, just what the local priests were wearing. Ignatius did not require the office in common because the needs of the apostolate required freedom and movement. And though he did spend time in Rome writing the constitutions, his deep-down desire was that the inner law of charity is what should guide our life together. Ignatius himself has been, and is for me, another Jesuit, just as every Jesuit is another Jesuit. And Jesuits are, or try to be, friends in the Lord. So Ignatius is a friend in the Lord. Let me tell a few stories. The title of the outfit, as you probably know, is not the Society of Jesus. It is the Compañeros de Jesús, the company of Jesus. And better than the friends in the Lord, a Jesuit is a companion of Jesus. Ignatius' own journey took him deeper and deeper into the mystery of Jesus, and the hope and effort of the spiritual exercises is to bring the companion, whether male or female, deeper and deeper into that same mystery. When I went to the cave in Manresa, I discovered a secret of the cave. You must go in, though quite frankly I found it not very exciting. But it does remind me how deeply you must surrender to the mystery of God if you are to be drawn deeply into that mystery. And to understand the final part of the cave, you've got to come out of the cave, because when you do so, you'll see this marvelous world out there, desiring to be touched by the God who wishes to touch them. The old saying goes for Jesuits, the world is our monastery. Like many Jesuits, I've wandered through many parts of Ignatius's world. Mass in the Loyola Castle, prayer at the Black Madonnas in the Abbey of Montserrat, the Cave of Manresa, Ignatius's rooms in Rome, But it was always walking with Ignatius, not standing in honor of him. It's again the kinship of a companion. Finally, when Pope Francis was elected, many people asked me if he was conservative or progressive, to which I replied, Ignatius had a wonderful vision, and if that vision is proclaimed in Rome, it will be a vast contribution to our Catholic faith, whether it is proclaimed conservatively or progressively. Which all made me realize that my deepest relationship to Ignatius is not so much to the person, except as another companion, but to his vision. We see that vision unfolding even now in the Pope, who is compassionate to everyone, regardless of how they understand God, and even for those for whom God is of no value to them. According to that vision, my life, as I hope is true for all my fellow Jesuits and colleagues, unfolds quite simply. It's about, first of all, praise of God, as the principle and foundation always invites us to do. It's about learning to follow Jesus as the call of the King, and learning to be the presence of Jesus here in my own life, at least trying to be. It's about learning the secret of the cross, which always unfolds in every life, mine and yours, which is what forgiveness is about. It's about that wonderful phrase which I say so often and understand too little, that God is present in all things. But that is for God to tell me, not mine to create. So, that's what 65 years later, Ignatius and me is about. Praise of God, friendship with Jesus, mission to go wherever I am sent. And I do not think Ignatius will feel very bad about that at all. So thank you. Happy feast day. God bless you always.